We're on this sheet. Date and time. This is in our file, date and time functions. Now, we have a sheet over here, and let me zoom in a bit. We got some information out there, and we want to calculate over here. We have start date, we see the end date. We want to see how much time has elapsed, how many days have elapsed in this. So we have a start date. Now we know that all the dates are actually numbers. So whenever you type a date and it's on the right side, if it's a correct date, it will be treated as a number. And with any other number, we can do all the calculations that we want. So we know that this is a number and we want to calculate the difference between these two dates. And just like any other number combination, we can simply subtract these two numbers. So and when we subtract the numbers, we always want to make sure that we are subtracting the bigger number from the smaller number. And the latest date is a bigger number, smaller date, the older date is a smaller number. So we want to see how much time has elapsed, how much days has passed. So with any other combination, we use equal this end date minus the start date. We press enter, we get an answer 129 days have passed between these two dates. Now, these are number of days that have passed, and this is just a number. These are just numbers. We see them as dates because they are formatted as dates. Over here, same goes with this as with any other uh, addition or subtraction. We can certainly do that. Let's say we want to install a software is getting installed or has installed on 18 September 2024, and it has a lifespan of 1500 days. And we want to know what would be the end date. When will this software expire? And so with any other function, we can simply use the installation date when we want to install the software plus the end date, 1500 dates. Now this date can be any date. I just picked up the random dates here. I press enter. So the software would expire on 27th October 2028 after 1500 days. Now understand that these are calendar dates. And there are ways to exclude the business days out of it. Maybe you want to extract the business days, and we can see that in our upcoming chapters how we want to include only take in account only the business days or weekdays or exclude the weekends or the holidays. That's a later part of the story. But right now we want to do a simple calculation. This is the date. I want to go 1500 days ahead of it. Here is the date. Here's the new date. And with similar we can subtract as well. We can do addition and subtraction. We can't do multiplication and division. It will give us a weird answers here. So we have a date here. We want to see a quarter before this date. So we can use equal this minus 90. In quarter after this date, this plus 90. And here we go. So we can see what is happening here. We have dates that we are looking at. Quarter before this date, quarter after this date. And same goes with the time. Now we have a check-in time, let's say this, and checkout time with this. We want to see how much time has elapsed. What's the time difference? So we can simply subtract the later time minus the previous time. And we know that we are going to get 8 hours and 54 minutes that have been passed within this time. And date and times, we know these are numbers. We've spoken about it a lot. So make sure they are written in a perfect way, means all the dates with dash or slash, time with semicolon. And if you see any date which is on the left side, it's not a correct date. It can't be used computationally. If the date and times are correct, which means they are on whenever you put a date and time, they automatically appear on the right side in the cell. They align on the right side, which means that they can be used computationally. Any number that you put in the cell is aligned towards the left side. It can't be used computationally. So you want to make sure with that. You want to be careful with this one. But like over here, We have start time 6 p.m. on 17th February 2027. End time is 3:40 p.m. 20th February 2027. Can we do a calculation of this? No, we can't. We just can't do it. It's not a correct way to do a calculation. Something like this, we won't be able to do any calculation at all. It can't be calculated computationally. We will get an error. So make sure these are put in the correct way, correct format, and they only then they can be used computationally. For example, over here, as we know that any year that you put in Excel, any date that you put in Excel, if you simply put in a year, if that is 0 to 29, that will become this century, and 30 to 99 will become a previous century. For example, if I put in a date here, 15th February 28, it will automatically become 2028. If I use the same date, 15th February 32, it will automatically become 1932. And so the matter of fact, 15th February 30 as well, it will become 1930, but 15th February 29 will become 2029. So you know that. Please be very careful with this when putting in only the year of only the last two digits of the year. 0 to 29 this century, 30 to 99 previous century. And maybe Microsoft will change it later, but now it's not the right time. It's not happened right now. Maybe it will happen in the future. And here it is. So date and times when used, when they are properly formatted, which means they're on the right side, they can be used computationally. Now I'm going to put up a wrong date here, deliberately and purposely. Let's say if I put in 29th February 2015, and it's on the left side, and I put in another date, 21st March 2015. So I want to calculate between these two. Can I do it? No, we can't do it because 29th February does not exist. We can use 28th February 2015, and that can be used, but not 29th February. So Excel is way too smart that if the date is not there, date doesn't exist, it will not scream at you and tell you that, okay, what are you doing? This date does not exist. It will simply put the date on the left side. For example, let's take another example. 31st October 83. Here it is. It's on the right side. It's a valid date. I know that. And if I put in 31st November 83, it stays on the left. Excel will consider this as an ID number rather than a date. And it will keep it on the left side. And no way Excel will come back to you and tell you that, okay, what are you doing? Are you seriously telling me that this is a date? No. Excel has so much computational capabilities that it can automatically compute these dates, whether these are valid, whether these are invalid. They know it. Excel knows it. And like I said, these are all numbers. So you might say, okay, if you say these are all numbers, which means that this is a number, this is a number, this is a number. Yes, they are. So if you want to see what is the number behind, although it's absolutely not necessary, you literally no need to do it. You no need to know that whether these are numbers, what number it is. These are just a number. You can put in any number. Let's say you put in this number. Is this a date? And you can say, yep, this is a date. This is a number right now. But the dates that we see in this format, we can format these as dates. Like for example, if I just copy this over here. So I want to see this as a number, not as a date. So I can simply go here and put it in general format, and I see 42063. And this is a number. And we can see that it's a number, so we can use them as computationally. And these one also, if I use them here, I convert them into general. We see that what is happening here, 42064. And here it is. So because these are numbers, they can be used computationally. But can this be used computationally? Is this a number? This is not a number. This is not a date. It's invalid. It's just an ID number. So be very careful with that. And there is absolutely no need, no necessity To understand this, you never ever in your life you'll say that, okay, this today is this date, so I'll type the today's number 42065, and they say you don't need to learn all this. Just put in today's date and that will work. So this is only for your information that, okay, why these calculations are easy to come within dates and times. And with dates and numbers, time is also a number. So this is the reason we can use both of them computationally.